Hello, and welcome to another episode of Marketing Mode. I'm Jenna,
I'm Todd.
and today we are talking about an AI awakening, which is a report that we just put out with Constant Contact about how small businesses are using AI and automation to bolster their business. Here we go. Good morning, Todd.
Good morning, Jenna. Great to see you today.
Good to see you too. We're twinsies again today.
We are. I was almost going to put out my Darth Vader a little bit more prominent today, since we both have black on.
Right? Add to the aesthetic.
That's right. Well, this weekend we're going down to Disney. I live a couple hours from Disney World, and in Epcot they have this great Star Wars area now, and so I'm excited to go down and do some of those rides.
Do people like dress up? Do people show up and dress up
They
for this
do.
stuff? Do
They do. I'm
they?
not one of those, but they do. Yes.
Is your son as into Star Wars as you are? Or is that why you're into Star Wars?
I think it's both. I
Okay.
think we feed off of each other. But actually, my oldest daughter, she was born on May 4th. So May the 4th be with you. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, I've never heard that. I have never heard that. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
So
trying to
she's a
think of
Star
anyone.
Wars. So she's a Star Wars by birth.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, Lincoln hasn't gotten into it yet, but I don't know. I mean, he's 4. Can I show him a Star Wars movie yet? Are they like,
I'm not sure they have the animated one, so maybe start there.
oh, okay, okay. We won't go full
They have
force.
the Lego Star Wars series, so try that out.
Okay, I'll have to do that. All right. I'm sure he'll be into it instantly, and then I'll have to buy a whole bunch of Star Wars related stuff
Yeah,
to
be careful going
tease
down
him.
that road.
Yeah, yeah. And then eventually bring him to Disney World.
That's
This
right.
conversation just cost me like $20,000.
That's right.
Well, today we're talking about a report that we put out recently with Constant Contact, AI and small businesses and how SMBs are using AI and automation. Um, and like, as you know, and as everyone that's listening, I'm sure all 3 people that are listening know, AI is a huge topic right now. You can't open your eyes and look at your phone in the morning without seeing something about it, at least in my world.
That's right.
Um, so I think it will be an awesome topic to talk about. And also, uh, I think I speak for us both when I say that we're really proud of this report just because of the way we approached it. So we'll get into that a little bit first. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'll jump in there, Jenna, because it was when Constant Contacts approached us about doing this research study. Of course, like many technology firms, they've invested heavily in AI. And so they really wanted to find out from this research study, their target audience is small and medium-sized businesses, and that's where their tech stack, really fills a void for marketers. And so they wanted to do more than just, I mean, obviously they'd done research previously with their clients on what they want, build out a roadmap to start adopting AI into their platform. But they really wanted to use this research study to see what was going on in the marketplace. How are SMBs using AI? Are they afraid about it? Are they excited about it? What specifically do they envision AI helping them with?
Yeah.
And what are the benefits of it? So there was all these layers of, as we started going back and forth on kind of questions, the type of questions to ask. I know that we had both the questions, but Jenna, we also talked about maybe some of that deeper research insight that could be incorporated to kind of find more in-depth findings.
Yeah, this one was interesting because you think of SMB, we go so much further beyond that segment of SMB. We pulled out the most sophisticated marketing strategies so that readers could see what are the experts in marketing sophistication doing differently with AI specifically, versus, people who are brand new to it. And then also we did AI users versus not users. And then we actually split that up into, are you planning to use it? Are you not? Are you unsure? Why? And then also we did a cool segment on time with AI. So not only is your strategy sophisticated or not, how long have you been using AI, and how has that changed the benefits or not benefits that you're seeing from it?
And the nice thing with having all those segmentations is you can see yourself, every single person who reads that report can find themselves in that report. So if you're using it and you've used it for a while, you can look at it through the lens of your situation. If you're thinking about using AI, you can also glean some insight based on where you're at. And so I think that was really important to us, to make sure that everybody who reads it is able to see themselves and hopefully get a roadmap for what they want to do in relation to their marketing and AI. So hopefully it's encouragement to some, hopefully for others, it gives them a little bit of a roadmap on next steps.
Totally. Yeah, and we'll talk about today specifically, and we ask challenges quite a bit. What is this audience challenged by, most specific, or most significantly, just because I think so many people can relate to that. I mean, constantly you're just trying to overcome the next thing when it comes to your job, your business. So we asked that of this group. We segmented by number of employees across the board, regardless of whether you have one employee or 50. Attracting new customers is the greatest challenge that their business is facing. Small businesses more so, we found, but at the end of the day, attracting new customers is absolutely top of mind, and AI can very much help with that. So we think of top of the funnel.
That's right. For a small business owner, we know how to, I think small business owners, and I'll put Ascend 2 into that category, you get right down to the core of what makes your company successful, right? And that's making sure that your current customers are happy and finding new ones, right? So attracting new customers wasn't surprising to me, but I think that there is that difference between like a small business who's probably a little bit more laser focused, as to, like an enterprise company who has a lot of different initiatives, and employees probably, a lot of, even within marketing, might be a little bit removed from that concept of attracting new customers. Whereas the SMB, I think, lives and breathes that all the time. And so that was a really interesting finding. But then also when you start layering on that aspect of, well, how can AI assist with attracting new clients or customers?
Yeah.
And when I think of attracting new customers from a marketing perspective, Jenna, the first thing I think of is content and content marketing.
Yeah. Content creation, yeah, for sure.
I mean,
And that really plays into every single channel that you're using, regardless of where along the customer journey, right? You have to provide content, even all the way down to sales enablement.
right.
You can use content throughout the entire thing, but having an efficient content strategy is certainly enabled more now by the use of AI, like strategic use of AI.
That's right. I mean, I would recommend for small businesses to, first look at your existing technology stack. A lot of them are already incorporating For
Mhm.
example, AI writers. So an AI writer could assist you in, it could be like the larger thing where maybe you're trying to write a newsletter, and we all know that sitting down to write a newsletter, like a weekly newsletter, that takes time and effort. So if AI can be used where you can put in some, hey, this week I want to talk about, marketing and AI,
Mhm.
and how marketers can use AI to save time, and
Or
chat.
even what do you think marketers want to know about AI right now?
Right.
You know
Yeah, I
what I
mean,
mean? And it spits out a list of ideas.
exactly. And if it's built into your tech stack and you're doing it, you're using that AI writer, let's in this example within uh, a newsletter generator, you're going to put that in. It's going to give you a, a newsletter to start from,
Mhm.
and obviously, it's one of the hardest things, and I think from school, from elementary school the whole way through in your business, the hardest thing is to look at a blank screen and get started. So your AI writer, even taking that burden off of you of having a starting point, is going to save you a lot of time.
Mm. Yeah,
Jenna
the
Jenna started getting, fearful thinking of that blank screen, and
I
I
did,
can
and then
see
I
where I
blurted
could.
out like, just put something into ChatGPT. But that also brings up the point of, the like you said, the built-in AI uses and automations versus the external systems such as ChatGPT, which is obviously like top of mind for a lot of people. But now, like you said, a lot of these uh platforms that people are already using are answering the calls of their existing customers, and have already built or are building AI focused tools that you can easily test and implement. it, I think for a small business, very there's low risk.
That's right. That's right. And it
Which,
can, yeah,
oh, go ahead, sorry.
not that it is low risk, and it,
Yeah.
it can be even like, give me 5 subject lines, or things like that to to spur ideas, um, to just get you started. It can help. You can incorporate it into creating a automation series. Um, so I think a lot of times that can be built right in to your platform. So that can be a huge benefit for really whatever. I don't even know if this is really like based on the level of sophistication of the marketer, because even a very seasoned marketer can just really benefit from getting that starting point, or getting the juices flowing, I think is
Hmm.
what I would typically say on creativity.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we're talking about content creation as well, uh, the such a huge part of that, and content obviously takes time, even with AI, it takes time. But we talk about these long form, or these pieces that you put a ton of time into, and AI can be used to repurpose those for different channels. And I mentioned before, content being applied throughout the entire customer journey or marketing funnel and sales funnel. If you're using AI to summarize a long form blog post or a research report that you put out last year or something, um, and just specifically for the purposes of repackaging and getting that out onto different platforms, a bunch of social media posts, for instance, that takes so much time off of your plate, you know?
No, you're right, and uh, I think part of that time savings too, and this is really when you go back and think about the benefit of a research study like this,
Mhm.
is the research helps to pinpoint your direction. So like, for example, that question we asked about, what marketing, what would you benefit the most, or what's your greatest challenge? And it says attracting new customers. So now it goes from a shotgun approach of how can I use AI for marketing to how can I use it, much more targeted. How can I use AI to attract new customers? And then strategically, then you can start figuring out how, right? So you now have a very, and I think that's why we're research geeks, right? We love the research because it really does, we benefit from doing it all the time. And I know it's helped us in our growth of our business because we're constantly learning from the research that we do. But I think it does help you to be much more focused on what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. You ask the challenge and you have the option of attracting new customers. You have a bunch of other options too. And, you want to make sure that, or we want to make sure that follow-up storylines are available for each of those options, right? So, you look at the concept of AI and SMB use of it as a whole, and then what are these specific challenges that people are facing? And then how can we help the audience that's reading this even more? What would they want to know about attracting new customers, for instance? What do they want to know about time saved? What's a peer doing differently than me that saves them more time? So yeah, we want to make sure we get really granular, and we did with this report. And I love it so much. We did get into, how much time do you estimate you save each week? And then we also broke that down by how many areas they're using AI in, so we asked which of the following areas are you using AI? And then we broke that down by, did they select 2? Did they select 3? Did they select 4? And then how much more time are they saving? Is there kind of a plateau somewhere? It's just, obviously I get very excited. But it's cool to be able to really drill down on some of these interesting ideas.
Yeah, and we'll have a link here so you can download the report yourself and dig through it and see what works, what would inspire you to move forward with AI or to enhance your current plans. I also think there's this benefit with our clients as they're looking. So for example, like a Constant Contact or whoever we're doing the research with, they learn so much about their audience, and that can help influence their messaging. It can help influence their next series of advancements with their technology. It can assist with a lot of different areas of just being more in tune with your audience. And so it's really marketing 101, right? It's not about us, it's about them. It's making sure that we're, not only creating not just creating a product, but creating a product that the audience needs and wants. So there's just a lot of benefits there. And I think we see that all the time where clients are like, oh, wow, this provides us a lot of kind of a roadmap for the next 6 months.
Not to mention media coverage.
Yes.
The media loves AI right now specifically, but they also love data. They love the information that they can just literally take right out of a press release or something and slap onto their site for their users and readers to consume.
Yes. And one last point that I wasn't even thinking of, Jenna, but I'll just bring it up here, is I do feel like from a content perspective, as AI continues to mature, that creating original research will be even more critical, because as AI is going out there to, validate topics, it just seems to me that they're going to gravitate to research-based content. So,
Mm-hmm.
as compared to, giving a list of the best ways that AI could be used, it just kind of makes logical sense that they would want to source research has been done that validates that position. And so
Mm-hmm.
I think as we move forward with AI, having research-based content and also making sure that it's sourced properly will be a great benefit to companies.
Yeah, that's such a good point because we were actually just talking about this right before we started recording, but uh putting, searching through Chat GPT, for instance, as your quote unquote search engine, it eliminates so much of the, I think you used me as an example, but just like the, crazy Jenna Bolaño talking about, God knows what, and calling it fact. And I think ChatGPT really hones in on, the actual credible sources, which is research and data.
Right, because we can, you know, there are ways to manipulate Google. So you might get a
Mhm.
high ranking. It doesn't necessarily mean it's accurate and correct, or it's just bias, right?
Yeah.
So where's that unbiased perspective coming from? You would have to say that research would be one of those sources.
Yep. For sure.
So
I mean, I think we can wrap that up. We'll like Todd said, we'll link to this report in show notes. Um, Spoiler alert, AI is super helpful for SMBs. But you can see how and why and all that good stuff in the whole report from Ascend to and Constant Contact.
yeah, and special shout out to Constant Contact. We really appreciate your partnership on this.
Yeah, this was a good one. Well, thanks, Todd. Have a great weekend. It's Friday.
Yeah, likewise. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. It's like 150 degrees here in Florida, but hey, that's
It's so hot. It's so hot.
I know I feel like the Wicked Witch of the West just melting, you go
Oh my
outside
gosh.
and
Yeah. It's bad.
it's yeah.
It's so bad. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Take care. Be cool.
We want to hear from you. Feel free to comment or leave a review or head over to ascend2.com to learn more about our research.